What's going on, everybody? It's be your boy
DJ Anonymous.
DJ Anonymous with another episode of Sports Biz Music, and I got a very, very special guest on the show. I got one alumni and I got one newcomer on the show. I got my boy Matt, and I got my boy Litty Willie.
Yes, sir, Litty Willie. What's poppin'?
What's going on, y'all boys? How y'all doing?
Blessed.
Good, man. You know, just glad to be alive.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the last couple of years with all the stuff going on, people dying, COVID, people losing money. You know, there's a lot going on. So before we get into the podcast and to the whole interview and everything, I mean, Matt, everybody already know you. You've been on the show, but give us a little update on everything, and then we'll go with afterwards. Then we'll introduce Litty Willie. He could introduce himself to the show.
And I think I was like episode 101,
Mm-hmm.
and he was calling me a mogul before I even thought I would be, or we was having entrepreneurship talk around that time, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect myself to be where I am now. You know, just a young kid from Miami-Dade, just trying to be something, and you planted that seed in me. You know, he was like, "Yo, I know you're gonna be something one day," and here we are. You know, they come up Miami and birthed out during the pandemic, and me meeting a great individual that we have the same drive and the same mentality when it comes to eliminating that stereotype of that crab in the barrel.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about all that tonight on the show, and we're gonna talk about the come up Miami. Congratulations again on your podcast, and also with the awards, winning the award for the podcast category. Now, Litty Willie, introduce yourself to the fans of Sports Biz Music.
Well, first off, I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be on your platform. It is a humbling thank you. I usually do the interviewing, so anytime I'm getting interviewed, I always want to tell somebody thank you for giving me that time. Litty Willie, as I tell people, born in the Bronx, made in the Dade.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in New York. Came here my high school year, 2004. It was pretty rough because I didn't speak Spanish. I'm not black. I'm not Haitian. I'm not Mexican. I'm not Cuban. I'm not white. I wasn't from a certain part of town. And the worst thing about it is I was from New York. So back in those days, Miami people was giving New York people a hard time. So it was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Moved down here. Didn't fit in, like I said, because I wasn't with the crowd. I couldn't fit in. So I said, I'm going to just start my own shit. I'm allowed to curse on your platform?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta make sure. I mean, I've been on radio and stuff, so I gotta make sure.
Yeah, no, you can cuss.
So I just started my own shit, got my own crew. I'm from Exit 1, Florida City, Homestead area.
Down south.
Yeah, so I just got people there's a couple towns from where I'm from, is Florida City, Naranja, Princeton, Leisure City, Homestead. So I got literally people from each one of them towns, created my own little crew, my little thing, and just got it popping from there. Fast forward, 5.5 years ago, I was sitting on my couch with my brother. My brother is a rapper, but doesn't rap. I don't know how to explain that, but I've always been his biggest fan, and I was the one that pushed him to rap. And he's one of those guys that they rap for a season, then they stop. They rap for a season, then they stop. So we were sitting on the couch New Year's Eve, and I'm like, bro, let's go live. This is when live just first came out on social media platforms. And I said, let's go live and just talk shit. They call me Litty Willie because we always lit. We always drinking. We always flashy. We were just the loudest people in the room, not just verbally, but swag, just everything. So that's why it's the Litty Show. But we just went live, and back then we randomly went live on New Year's Eve, and we had 70 people off rip. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but back then when live wasn't popping, that was a lot of people.
Right.
So we just went live talking shit, and then after that night, I seen so much traction, and I'm like, yo, I'm a big fan of French Montana, not only music-wise, but production, and if people don't know, French Montana started off as a battle rapper, and then after being a battle rapper, he then started this thing called Coke Wave DVDs, and he was going around interviewing people, and he was putting his music in the background. So I was like, yo, we could do this with a podcast, like play your music while we do interviews and shit like that. That'd be dope. You know, we can make you pop. Mm-hmm. So it worked. I did 2 years of episodes every Friday, which was 104 episodes for 2 years straight. Every Friday we shot an episode.
So that's a grind. People don't understand. That's a grind.
Yeah, bro. We were live. We were live on Instagram, live on Facebook, and then we would upload the show to YouTube. And that second year, 24hourhiphop.com. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
Yeah, I am. That's middle school, high school days.
Right. So then they seen what I was doing, and they're like, "Yo, this is dope. If we put you in the studio, would you be able to commit to it?" And I'm like, "Bro, I did 104 episodes in 2 years. Like, that's nothing. Like, Of course." So shout out to 24 Hour Hip Hop, and shout out to my mix masters in Alapata. I don't know if you know where it's at, the studio.
I think I've been there before. I think it's like in a 2-story building, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's not that far from like the Miami River. I think I've been there before.
Yeah, exactly right there. So they gave me the opportunity. Shout out to DJ Hayes and Mr. 24 Hour. They put me in the studio, and I started off on the couch in the lounge. They just wanted to see how I did. And shout out to G Money, shout out to Young Flock, Dash Play. Like, all these people came together and they let me interview them. And when they seen I wasn't fucking off, it was like, okay, let's put them in the studio. So from the studio, I went there, started doing more interviews, and then slowly moved into like local celebrities. We did Deslaw Piccolo, we did Mike Smith twice, Gunplay, Michael Corleone from Griselda's the Queen, her son. We just did a bunch of on that run. Billy Blue, yeah. I mean, if I forget anybody, my bad. Sorry.
You did a lot, because I don't know how I found you, but you was everywhere. I'm like, who does Chico? Cause I thought you from here. Cause I guess, cause one thing about y'all, cause my wife, she's from New York too, and one thing about y'all accent do not leave. But the stories I hear with like my homeboys from New York, when they go back up north, they be like, y'all, you sound country a little bit, like, cause certain words we say.
You got it right on the fucking head. Like, it's so hard to exist, because I go to New York and they be like, bro, you sound like you from the country. And then I go to Miami, they're like, bro, you sound like you still from New York, so you don't fit in nowhere. But it's like, it's dope, because you know what? I always stand out everywhere I go. Like, I just went on a New York run with my mixtape, and I did a bunch of drill artists up there, because I do a podcast with them called Drive Slow. And when I was up there, like, the end of every episode, I was talking with them, and they're like, damn, bro, you really from New York? Like, you sound like you from the stuff. And when I'm talking to them about shit that they know about, like, bro, you really from New York? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. But yeah, just fast forwarding into that, I did that. Then I went to, we was doing episodes inside of Strong Arm. We was doing stuff over there. And then from there, I took a little break. Started doing stuff at home. I mean, I could talk about hours, how the shit started from nothing, and times where I'm just on live and nobody's watching. And then I took a break from that, took a break for a little bit, started doing lives again. And then fast forward to the end, my mixtape hit me up and they're like, yo, do you want to run a podcast for us? You know, what do you think? And I'm like, yeah, like, let's get it. I didn't think it was real until they legitimately told me, let's go. So I did it with them, and then what we saying today is Matt. Like, Matt is like, bro, I look at him the way I look at myself in the podcast game. Like, it's very hard to find somebody that's equivalent to your passion. Like, everybody says they want to do something, but people are really not doing this consistently, and a lot of people don't have the drive. And when Matt hit me up, I was a fan. I'm like, damn, bro, like we gonna work. Like if we gonna work for real, we gonna work for real. This is gonna be fucking lit. And he's like, no, like for sure. So like, and just he has it on his name. It's amazing working with him. Cause it's like he's the humble one, I'm the loud, crazy one. So it's like the yin and the yang. But he's humble in an arrogant way. I could say that he's not humble like in a nice way. Sometimes he's humble because he don't want to hurt your feelings. A lot of times, like honestly, like and he holds back a lot. And he got a lot more patience than me because I be watching him when we interviewing people and he be looking at them like, "Oh, you dumb, or this shit is whack." And I'm like, "Bro, I can read your face, bro. Like I'm interviewing, I can read your face."
Yep.
Yeah.
So speaking,
and that's the thing. That's the thing when it came. My brother, because that's the thing with why I wanted to be with Willie. Because when I'm with Willie, it's like it's literally like. It's like a journal. It's like even though we together, like I have somebody that I'm actually feel like I kind of feel like I'm competing with, but we working together. He pushes me, I pushes him, and it pushes me to continue to be better.
Yeah, and
the show gets good.
Yeah, and you know when I seen y'all come together, because you know, Litty Willie, like I said, I don't know how I found you, but I found you. You did a few episodes that I like. Well, all the episodes I like. Same thing with Matt. With Matt, he was on the show even before he, you know, came up really with the podcast. He talked about it, but I was like, let me see what he gonna do. And he came up with the come up. With Shu, you had Chaos from Ground Mode, and I liked that episode a lot because he talked about down south. And for me, being from Miami, even though I'm from up north, I always tell people when I first started DJing, when I was DJing a long time ago, when I started at 15, I said the main artists that always support me was down south artists and artists from Broward before Broward was Broward. So that was dope.
But where were you DJing down here at?
I was a mixtape DJ. It was I did mixtapes with Chaos. Chaos was one of my first like artists I like reached out to. I was surprised he even accepted it, but at the time he was like, when they ground mode, they really is ground mode. Like especially Chaos. Like this man probably got like over 1,000 mixtapes and people don't even know it. But I was mainly just doing mixtapes for a while. I don't know if you know TP from down south.
I heard of him.
Me and him work together a lot. So it's a lot of them that, you know, Street Warning from Homestead. I worked with them when we was younger, so it was you know mostly mixtapes and stuff like that. But
he was really working down here.
Yeah, I was really working. I was really working. But real quick, Matt, why the come up? Why did you come up with like the come up? Like what like how did the idea come with? Because I love the concept. I love how. I don't know if you driving their cars or that's your cars or you renting them. I don't know, but it's a vibe. Like, how did you come up with it?
It came about because I was just tired of like, you know, when you're watching the interview and they say like, oh, you know, I was riding down this block and you know, if you go look, if you really from Little Haiti, you drive down this block and you know this, and I had to tell myself like, bro, like sometimes I actually want to be in the field and actually want to see it. So that's what ended up happening. And then you actually end up seeing like, you know, you driving and you're right next to the school that the person went to, or you, the person they, you know, it actually even makes them remember stuff. Like when I did Billy Blue, you know, he was like talking about a house where he robbed, when he did a, like, I think when he was young, he did like a little B&E, and literally he was like, bro, they had an ostrich in the backyard. What the hell? What do you mean ostrich? But like he literally got so animated. He was like, bro, that's the house right there. And like literally stuff like that. Like we planned it out, and as far as the vehicle, I pay attention to a lot of stuff. So I kind of like, I know with like vehicle, I know what vehicles they like and what kind of like interest in when we're in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Billy Blue, I had a Range Rover. I had other people had like an Escalade.
Mm-hmm.
I think one I had like a Corvette. The only person that let me drive their car was Zoe Dollars. He was like, bro, we're gonna do it in the Bully, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know, you know, these people, but you know, people always talk the crap and say, you know, it's not really a Bully. That thing is really bulletproof, bro.
Yeah.
Those windows, those doors,
mm-hmm.
those doors don't have the regular handles, bro. They have a rope to hold the door plus an extra handle.
Wow.
Those doors are heavy, bro.
So you can just slam them doors.
Nah, you can't, man. You gotta be able. You gotta like be working
It's a
out a
workout.
little bit.
Yeah.
It's a workout.
It's
a workout, man.
That shit crazy.
To the point, I even think he shot. I think he was like, no, I really wanted to show people like, to show people that this is really a bulletproof. I think there was like a bullet hole into the thing, and there was a bullet in the door. He's like, bro, nothing's getting through this door. And and he got two. So, like I said, he's the first to actually, you know, let me drive his vehicle. But that was the whole concept for me to drive something that exemplifies their lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for me, listen, I try my best not to geek out when I be with them, but
I know it's hard.
It's hard, bro. You got to keep your composure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I try my best. I mean, I feel like I did, but man, I can't tell you like how badly.
That's what genuine. That's what makes it genuine as well. Mm-hmm. Being a genuine fan. I mean, you ain't got to be a whore about it or nothing. But geeking out a little bit does make the interview more genuine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So for both of y'all had on both of y'all shows, both of y'all platforms, because we're gonna talk about the merger, the new podcast that's coming out. Well, it is already out, ain't it?
Yeah,
it's already out. But we're gonna talk about the Litty Willie Show. We're gonna talk about the come up. Y'all had great people on the show, great people on the show. As a podcaster, as an interviewer, I want to start off with you, Matt, because you know you kind of new in the game.
Yeah.
What was like what was your favorite episode, and then what was like doing your first episode? Like, how was it? Was you nervous? Like, how was it?
All right, so I'm gonna go with my first episode.
Mm-hmm.
My first episode, the anniversary of that episode was January 26th. Mm-hmm. The day of the episode, you know, it was my first episode. You know, adrenaline high. Mm-hmm. You're happy as hell, but you're nervous. There was a little cutback because the person was like, "Oh, you know, I'm in Little Haiti," mm-hmm. But then I ended up driving all the way to West Palm to pick him up because he did a show in West Palm, so I had to pick him up just for us to do the show in Little Haiti. So we had like a 4-hour delay. I went up there. I didn't get there till 1. We didn't come back to Miami till 4.
Wow.
That same day, Kobe died.
Damn.
Oh, boy.
But in the middle of that, he's getting dressed. He was like, "Nah, man. I don't think I could do the interview, bro, because they say Kobe died." I'm like, "Nah, bro."
That shit hurt
I'm not even saying.
Hood.
Yeah, I was like, "No, I'm not saying nah to the interview. I'm saying nah, like, nah, you lying.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe ain't died. And at the same time, you hear Red Sparks died. And he's like, "Nah, this ain't true, man." And so that like, I don't know if you could tell. A lot of people always tell me, like, if you watch my first ever interview, it's with Frank Castle, you know, with the 26ers, 13-13. Like, him, that the energy was, we tried our best for our energy to be as high as possible because we was, like, literally, after sometimes, like, there's so much things that were cut. Mm-hmm. Literally, we would just stop in the middle talking, just be like, damn. So, that was my first ever episode, and you know, I learned a lot from it as far as camera angles and et cetera. My favorite episode with the Come Miami is the Billy Blue episode.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. Only because like I think everybody I did was genuine, but I think it's because me growing up listening to Billy Blue from fresh from head to toe, fresh from head to toe, and Hold Your remix. Like I was in middle school listening to this, and people you think that's not tangible, you're actually able to like sit right next to him, and then he's telling you stories, and you're like, bro, I knew this, bro. Like I'm just asking questions so everybody else can know, but I know you already.
So yeah. So what about you, Litty Willie? Like, what was like how was your first episode, and then like what was like your favorite episode of like all time so far?
So I guess because I've done over 300 episodes of just people in general, but I would say my first celebrity episode, EFN. I just say EFN just to my definition, because I've done celebrities before him, but EFN was kind of like, but still, it's like an idol for me, because I used to tell people I am the little brother of Drink Champs, like, because I never wanted to be like Drink Champs, but we were known as crazy drinkers, like before anything. That's why we're called the Litty Show, Litty Willie. Like we would drink bottles at the crib. Like everybody in Homestead knows us as the Wild Boys. Like we get drunk, we get crazy, we have fun. So like when I heard of Drink Champs, I'm like, yo, this shit is like ours. So anyway, fast forward. My first one that I can say, like, I was like, oh shit, wow, was with EFN. And shout out to EFN, because this is literally when I wasn't popping. Like I was popping in Homestead, but like nobody knew me in Miami. And I reached out to him, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, fuck, like I'm really gonna interview Drink Champs. And so that was dope. My most fun interview, and not to take this from nobody I've interviewed or anybody, is Gunplay, bro. Gunplay is just, like Gunplay is my top 3 lyricists in Miami. A lot of people are sleeping on him when it comes to his music. Like he can really rap. Like don't get his shit twisted with his shenanigans, because he can really fucking rap. Like coming from the Bronx, like I'm gonna tell you, I'm from the Mecca of hip hop, and he can rap.
Yeah, he
but
can.
Just him as a person, bro, he is the most genuine, coolest, craziest. You gotta be ready to turn the fuck up, and you can't have thin skin to hang out with him. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like you really can't be a sensitive person, or you can't be scared. Like you just gotta be ready to sense it. I always tell people, like, if you hung out with Gunplay, be prepared to get somebody pregnant or go to jail. But that was like my most fun interview. And to add third, I guess I want to say my most one where I was a little bit nervous, and not that I was nervous, it was a culture shock for me as well, is when I interviewed Jim Jones. It was just like, damn, I'm interviewing Jim Jones. You know, and I had to sit and think, like, bro, you ready for this shit? Like, don't fucking geek out and don't be scared. And I just sent it, and it was dope. It was dope. There was no reason to be fucking paranoid after I did it.
Yeah, I seen that was recently, right?
Yeah, that was this past August.
Yeah, man. I think my most the person that was like probably like the most celebrity I had on my show was probably Bone Collector. I was surprised that he
How
said
was
that was amazing. That's one of the few like podcast episodes that's like I was surprised I didn't feel rushed. You feel me? Because that's Bone Collector. And he was just talking about the art of street balling and the art of basketball. You can just tell he was a student of the game. My most nervous, she's a celebrity too, was Elisa Reyes from All That. I was surprised because I had a crush on her when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't gonna lie. I did. But like she cool, like she's cool as hell. Like you know, like you know, I'm not fortunate like y'all to have like face-to-face interviews. That's something that I'm trying to do for my show more and more often. But it's just like she's just cool. She talked about like all that. She talked about working with Disney, with the Disney Channel. She talked about like the Proud Family and everything. Even before like the new Proud Family came out, like I already knew. She said in the episode that the new Proud Family was gonna come out, so that was dope. And then so once again, shout out to EFN. EFN, I had him face to face. We had met at the Starbucks in Kendall. Funny thing about it was when I was waiting for him, he said I'm at the bar getting something to drink. I was like, oh shit. This man really is a drink champ. But he put me up on so much game with the podcast. Like he's like one of the most like underrated like podcasters of all time because he's a student of the game, you know. Definitely. As well. So let's talk about y'all new podcast that y'all got together. First of all, I don't even know how to pronounce the name, but I'm gonna try to name it. Just trying to say it, but it's called Culture Connoisseurs, right? Well, I'm saying it wrong.
Correct. No, you saying it right.
Okay. You
got it.
Okay, so just tell us the fans, everybody, like what was the reason behind it and the story behind it.
So it just happened. It all happened in 6th grade with me and Willie. Nah.
I'll just say, damn, you had this shit planned before I did.
Damn.
Nah, man, it just that's what happens when you have a genuine connection with someone. Like, you know, I was already in a funk with the come up and in a space where I just felt like I was burnt out, and he was like, bro, I can't have you sitting down, and like, man, he just kind of like, you know, kind of put that battery on my back. It was like, nah, man, we gotta work. And he was working with my mixtapes, and I was like, you know, I just wanted to just go for support. I didn't want to go for nothing else. Because I still had love for the podcast game. So I just wanted to sit in and listen to his interviews, and it, you know, it kind of built up the drive a little bit. And he was like, bro, like, I think we got to start our own because I know we would kill it. And, you know, I don't know, you know, we posted on Instagram not too long ago, like a couple of days ago, or like about a week ago, like, you know, Top Miami podcast, and like, it's nobody local, and it's like, you know, not even our stuff, like the Litty Show or the Film Miami comes up as, you know, one of those top podcasts, and it's kind of embarrassing because it's like we literally like we don't have nothing down here, so we try to eliminate, you know, that crab in the bucket mentality where we wanted to come together. And it's like I feel like I knew Liddy all my life just by, you know, conversations that we talk, and that's another thing too, because we don't only just connect on just hip hop. You know, we talk about our lives outside of the podcast. You know, so that's what kind of like even makes it better. Just the fact that, you know, we connect that way.
That's what's up. What about from your perspective, Litty Willie?
Like it used to, I'm not even gonna cap to you. Like it used to bother me when I was shooting those My Mixtape episodes and I couldn't get them on. Like I used to see him sitting there and I could see him like itching, wanting to speak, and I'm like, bro, like, and I had paperwork with my mixtape, so I just couldn't put nobody randomly on. I'm basically working for them, so any interviews and stuff like that was contracted through them. So I couldn't just say like, yo, come on, this and that, but. You know, that's what really, like, when he was sitting there, and because, you know, I do speak a lot, and if you let me, I'll just talk forever.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm speaking and I see him, like, making certain faces and gestures and telling me shit, I'm like, damn, like, but I got to get this shit started with him. And then, like, you know, we go through the funk when it comes. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been through it, and I can tell you that that's like our biggest downfall when it comes to podcasting. Those funks that we could. I was just literally talking to Matt about this earlier. Like my highest point on, and you answered it prior, like just a little while ago, where you're like, "Yo, who is this dude?" It's like when you're consistent, bro, and you don't stop, people are gonna. It's like you're forcing them to know who you are.
Right.
And when you take that break and you ain't got nobody with you or nothing like that, it's hard to motivate yourself. So like when he was telling me how he took a break, this and that, I'm like, nah, bro. Like he did more than I did in a shorter amount of time. Like I did a lot,
yes,
but what he did in such a small amount of time, I was like, and he did it off the butt. Like, you know, so I had 24 Hip Hop hit me up, and I moved. I mean, my tracks in my city, you know, my work ethic, yeah, it brought to their attention, but they helped me get those bigger people in. Matt did this shit off the mud, so I'm like, bro, like, if you could do that, like not even talking about, I'm not gonna name the name, but just the feature that we got coming up.
Yeah.
Back when I was popping, and I'm still popping, I was trying to get this dude on. Matt comes to me, he's like, yo, I got this dude. I'm like, for real? Like, I DM'd him. He's like, yeah, I got it. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a good thing because, like I said, it's two different personalities, and I think sometimes I do come off too borderline obnoxious, borderline arrogant, borderline loud. So people that may be humble may not just, it's not that they don't like me, is that maybe they just look at me as this loud, crazy guy, so I got to come. So it works out, and I knew it was going to work. Like when I see this style interview and I see my style interview, I'm like, bro, he can get to places that I can't get to, and I can get to places he can't get to. So that's how I looked at it, you know what I'm saying?
And when I seen y'all come together, you know, you actually motivated me because I'm glad that what you said earlier about being consistent, especially being a podcaster, having your own podcast, your own show. It was a time, and Matt would tell you, like I was dropping episodes like every day.
Yeah.
But you know, life happens. Granddad got sick. Then I had the pandemic happened, and I had a child, and all this other stuff was coming. So, like taking a break, that shit hard because people that don't do this, that don't do not even just podcasting because we media, you know, like it or not, we are the media, and they don't understand that every day at least 10 new podcasts are being made and being born.
Right.
And then it's to me it's a good thing because now the more podcasts that's going to be created, the more it's going to shine light on us. But at the same time, it's kind of bad because you're going to have, and I'm not throwing no shade to nobody, but you got certain celebrities that do podcasting that probably just do it, and I'm not saying all of them, because you got people like, we were just talking about them, EFN, Noriega. Who else got a dope podcast that's like celebrity? Charlemagne, Brilliant Idiots.
Shit, as much as bite my tongue, I hate to say it, Joe Budden.
Yeah, of course, that's the GOAT.
Joe Budden.
That's the GOAT.
I'm not a Joe Budden fan. I'm just putting this shit on record. As musically and as a person, I am not. But when it comes to the podcast, nobody can't, and I give him, I would tell him to the face, bro, I don't like the music, and I think sometimes you're out of it, but you did amazing as a fucking media person, as a podcast person, as a platform. He showed growth from, like, that's the best thing about it. Like, he found out the shit to do and how to make it work, and he followed it. He wasn't stubborn. He's amazing. As a podcast, amazing, bro.
Amazing, yes, and even Joe Rogan, and that's someone if it's someone who I target, I don't want to say be like, but like the way my platform is, that's someone who I want to take the crown from. It's gonna be hard as hell because he got about like 5,000 episodes, but I know I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna do it, and And I know what y'all got going on, especially, you know, down here in Miami, we don't have it. We're not fortunate enough. You know, New York, LA, Chicago, Dallas, you know, places like that, Atlanta. You could go 5 miles away, 10 miles away. You go to a record label. You could go to a radio station. I mean, we have our radio stations down here, but they're not national. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And for what y'all doing, I feel like y'all gonna break barriers. Like y'all gonna change the game, not only for Florida, but also for the South, because that's something that we always had a challenge throughout the whole South. Is instead of driving up to New York, going to Cali, you know, going to like even at one point going overseas. Why not have our artists, especially from Florida, because that's all we got, you know, just get a spot, go to a spot where they could just be themselves, you get what I'm saying? And I feel like for what y'all doing, y'all bringing y'all two minds together, it's going to change the game. I'm telling you right now, it's going to change the game.
Shit, that's our goal, but and appreciate it, but I gotta say we have to do it together. Like, yes, me and you know, I do see me and Matt taking this to the next level, and with or without anything, with our mentality, shit's gonna pop. Like I've always had, me personally, I'm a person that manifests things. Like I always tell myself, you're gonna do this. It's gonna take you 10 days, 50 days, 100 days. You're gonna do this. But like, we do need to work together, bro. We really need to work. And that's the problem with Miami right now. And it's been like that for a while, bro. Everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian.
You know what? It's another problem. I'm sorry to cut you off, but real quick.
No.
You know what's another problem? And this goes back to my DJing days. What I noticed is that there's too many cliques. It's too many. We comfortable down here. A lot of people may not admit it, but let's say y'all already know how it is. Like Matt, you know an artist from North Miami, Little Haiti, NMB. All they gonna know is 163rd. You know what I'm saying? Or they gonna know that certain part of Miami. And then, you know, Litty Willie, you know, you already know how down south right now. Like, and I'm one of them people that want down south to bring the finally have that place in hip hop, and especially in Miami hip hop, because even to this day, my down south is, you know, known for being, you know, slow country and all that stuff, but it's so many talent down there. But you got artists from Goose, from Naranja, from the Grove, from certain areas that just get stuck in the area. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the problem is, I'm just speaking really for the artists. They too comfortable, and also they feel like when they get to a peak, they get too, how you call it?
We were just talking about it. That's the SoundCloud thing. Me and Lily was just talking about that today.
Like
they're looking for the hit song,
and
then that's it.
Like for
you know, and I did put a post up about this too. The people lack the knowledge of business. You know, people are stepping into this entertainment business, and I said it on a post, and I can send it to you. Some people ain't never even had a job before, and they claim like, "Oh, I'm this." Yeah, it's okay. Like if you got it out the mud, you never had to work for a man. That's cool. But if you don't have the basic knowledge of business, customer service, and the knowledge of to succeed on how to succeed in a business, you're not gonna go far.
Right.
Especially without having a manager, without having a budget. If you think that I'm just excuse my language, I'm a real nigga and I got a hit, that's not gonna get you nowhere.
It's not.
I'm sorry to say, that's the SoundCloud mentality. Like you gotta step out that box. First of all, customer service. The way you connect with people and the way you talk to people and the respect you have for people is gonna get you a long way. Like a lot of these people don't move into business correctly or won't go any further. A lot of people are this crab in the barrel mentality because everybody walks around with this chip on their shoulder and their arms crossed, like if they a thug, killer, gangster, whatever. And like, who wants to work with you? Who wants to talk with you? You know how many people came into my interview very reserved, like dog mentality, and like 5-10 minutes into the interview, like damn, bro, it's chill. Like we can talk about anything. Like I ain't gotta act like.
Cause they not used to
that's
that.
Number one, right? That's number one. Like you have to. That's like customer service. And number two is your budget. Like people understand that this Miami mentality of the homeboy price, like that's not gonna. Things cost.
Mm-hmm.
Things cost. You're and it's like, for example, right now, this interview that we're doing right now, where it's on a phone, whatever, your phone has to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Your work that you're gonna do to put on this program has got to get done. Your time. You said you have a kid, so let's say if you put all that aside to say I'm doing this because this is my passion, but then you say, yo, Willie and Matt, can you come out here and do this interview with us or do this interview with me? Y'all paying half the studio. We can't get mad if we're telling you. We can't get mad if you say, "Yo, can we shoot the other half?" Like
right.
how? Like if you're not willing to invest into nothing you're doing, then you gotta step out. What you think you're gonna get everything free?
Yeah, nothing ain't free, boy.
and it's like that mentality of Miami. It's like, okay, so boom, you popped in Miami, you made it in Miami, you made it on 99 Jams because you didn't make it on 103.5 because that is a major platform. That's not it's in Miami, but it's not major.
Mm-hmm.
You made it on 99 Jams. You the king of Miami. Why do a lot of Miami artists fall off after that? Because they don't go and they don't know how to spend money somewhere else because they got everything handed to them in Miami. Mm-hmm. So now when it's time to go to Tampa, Tallahassee, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, all that, where are you going to get that money from? You don't want to spend it.
You got to let me start it, bro.
Yeah.
My bad, bro.
No, that's the truth.
Nah, but that's the thing that we like. That's how passionate we are. Like it's literally like that we have. It's like we have the blueprint, and it's like, listen, bro.
I feel like sometimes we're back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these rappers in Miami, it's like you the man. You was the man in high school, like, and now you're 5 years past being the man. What else are you doing?
Let me tell y'all something. And this is probably the most openest like I ever been. Cause I feel like y'all interviewing me.
My bad.
Because
when I get started,
it's because it always be like that. Like especially when I interview other media personalities, like I'm like, y'all might as well interview me too. I'm cool with that, though. I love that. But the reason why I took a break from DJing. And I went toward, because the podcasting came a little bit later, probably like 3 or 4 years later after I like just stopped DJing. One thing I noticed about being in the media, nigga, you could, just like how we all had people on our show, that's like, people, everybody know them, like, it's like, dog, like, I can hit up someone, like I can hit up a pop artist from fucking Canada, right? That artist would be like, man, I may not be like the most popular podcast, but they be like, you know what, I'm gonna come on your podcast because you seem dope. I heard some episodes down here, and this is why I be getting mad sometimes because I'm not saying no names. I'm not that type of person, but I'm a type of person. I'm a one man show, so I DM a lot of people, and I get yes, maybes, and hell knows or this and that, blah blah blah, right? My thing is, especially if I knew you since like middle school, why should I have to go through your manager? Like I understand that's the organization. I respect that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, if I know you, bro, like come on, dog. Like,
and you know the crazy part, they respond to you and say, and they in that response they could have been like, they could have told you what it is, but they ended up telling you like, oh, reach out to my manager, and they text you to listen, bro. I don't care. I'm a name drop. I literally know. Like we had, I reached out to AD and AD's like, "Do you got a budget?" I'm like, "Come on, bro. Like you see, we from the crib."
You talking about Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's like we tried. We tried to reach out. And it's like if they don't see you have the money behind it, and the thing is, I had to learn when he said, "Oh, do you have a budget?" It's literally trying to say like, you know, you may not have money to pay him, but is it a budget film? Like, is there going to be big cameras inside? You know, is it going to look like how Shannon Sharp has his, or the Pivot podcast? Like, is it going to look like that? He may not even be looking to have to be paid for anything, but if it doesn't look like it's money, he's not going to come sit down. And it's like, bro, like, how does the little dogs become the big dogs when the big dogs don't want to fuck with the little dogs?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
and that's why
it has to be something for. I mean, people do have to understand, you know. All right, you know, and it's just not money. You know, there's in business with small businesses that do grow. There's a bartering system, you know. You have to you have to barter, bro. You have to figure out. You know, it's like, you know, a dude may come up to me and Matt and say, "Yo, I seen that y'all prices is this, that, and the other. Can I pay you the studio time now? And can I pay you this one?" We're not gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? Or if a dude comes and he's popping on Instagram, but he comes humble, it's like, "Yo, I ain't got." Cause that's the thing too. A lot of these dudes, I don't want to put nobody down, no disrespect to nobody, but especially in Miami, a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. It is not what you think. It is not that at all. It is not that at all. I've been told by different management, I've been told to do crazy things, stupid things, like stupid things. And then I've been told, "Yo, just fake it till you make." I've been told to buy a fake jewelry. I've been told to, like, "Yo, what?" Like, no, I'm not doing that.
No.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of these dudes are not even humble enough to just say, "Yo, I ain't got it, but how can we figure this out?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody comes to you genuinely, just so you got, like, your podcast, or it costs you to do anything. But somebody comes to you straight on and says, "Yo, I ain't got it. I'm an artist that's trying to do A, B, C, and D. How can I figure this out?"
Well, for me, a lot of people ask me, they're like, "Why you don't charge for podcasts?" I said, because I feel like I'm not there yet. So I'm still like the one that's hungry. I'm like the little shark in the big ass pond. So for me, I kind of get it. I kind of receive it differently in terms of, like, when I hit up people, they be like, "Man, $350 and shit." I'm like, "Nigga, I ain't finna pay you that shit." Like, if you, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it depends. Like, Bill Gates, I'm paying him. Why? Because he got so much knowledge. He got knowledge that's over. You know, Jay-Z.
Even if you're somebody right now that's not gonna pay you, and let's say you're getting paid off your streams, you know that those streams are gonna put money in your pocket. You're smart, a businessman that's smart enough to know, I ain't gonna get that money off you in your pocket, but I'm gonna get some good streams, and then I'm gonna get some money out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Because one thing about, like, for example, Spotify, and I tell artists this all the time, you know, Spotify algorithm is so crazy. Like, you put your name up, and they'll not only give you all the albums and stuff, but it'll tell you, like, what podcast you've been on and stuff like that. So it's like you helping the podcast, the show, or whatever, but you also, your brand is growing. People start seeing, like, "Oh, this man he's media trained. He's been doing," because, you know, I forgot who it was, but they told me, they said it's important for artists and entertainers to do, you know, interviews and just take it, because especially the up and coming, is because they become more media trained, they become more comfortable in their skin. And then when they get 100%. To a certain level, they could charge certain people and stuff like that. I really don't have no problem with that. It's just, in my mind, like, especially if it's somebody from the crib, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I'm from the crib, dog. Like, I ain't trying to say, like, give me a discount, but I'm like, dog. I don't know, man. It's just,
and it's true.
Because I should be like, I should charge you, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
That's the thing, bro. Like, but that it comes down to lack of business. People don't understand business. They don't understand it. Bro. You can't. First of all, you can't come into this business thinking that you're gonna make money. You're going to spend money, a lot of money, and then after you piss off a lot of money and shit off a lot of money, and you still got the legs to walk, then you break even. You don't even make money after that. That's where me and Matt are at right now. Like, we're at a point where and I've been doing this. I've got interviews that if I post you on my social media right now, you're gonna get traction on your page. And I'm not even charging you. I'm telling you, I'm trying to break even.
Mm-hmm.
But I got podcast people that got 500 to 1,000 followers with nobody credentials that they ever interviewed, but trying to charge me to get on Twitter.
And it's just crazy. Like it's like I've been doing this.
They have the mentality because they're trying to make money. I know what a studio costs. I know what editing costs.
Mm-hmm.
So the prices you're charging me, you're profiting. You're not. The numbers you're throwing at me, I can tell you and break it down to you. And say, okay, if I respect it, you told me you will. Here's the menu. Here's the cost of this. Here's the cost of that. This is what I'm charging you. I'll respect you a little bit more. But when I'm just seeing straight that you're trying to profit, I go, I respect your hustle. Don't get me wrong. I respect your hustle.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to learn business.
Yeah. No, that's true.
You know, everybody has that mentality of, oh, you don't go into Mercedes and try to negotiate a deal with Mercedes. Yes, you're right. But Mercedes took a lot of years to build the person that they are today. That's why you can't go in there and fucking barter with them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just think, you know, for me, I'm glad I got both of y'all on the show because, you know, you've been doing it for a long time, and Matt, you know, you technically been in it for a little while, but you surpass a whole bunch of people, like people that I don't even know that's doing podcasts, like locally. You surpass them just because of your
knowledge. He's been doing it for a long time with his knowledge.
With his knowledge. Yeah, you've been paying attention a lot.
But that's like to even add to your point, like I mean, for me to even be on, like, you know, your podcast or even, you know about the Litty Show, I had to be a student. I watched and listened to your podcast, you know, and even like the Litty's like Willie Show, like I've shown them, like, literally, like it, like my podcast was popping at that time, but me, like, and that goes back to being a student, like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even like the crab in the bucket mentality, like I have my own podcast and I'm literally like watching his podcast. I'm gonna post it today. Just I'm gonna post it. I keep saying I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it because literally I'm watching the interview. My dad is in my room watching the interview, watching me. Like my dad is watching the interview with me. That, you know, that Litty was interviewing. It just goes to show, like, you know, like. I learned from his interview style and I'm a student of the game, man. And I just, like, I was watching Litty Show before I even had my own podcast. I was watching him, you know, screaming, you know, the fucking vibe.
Yeah.
To the point where like
and then he applies pressure and wins the award and becomes better than all that. You feel me?
Nah, I was
not be working with, bro.
I was not even trying to win the award, dog. I just literally like, everybody was like, "Yo, you should try." I was like, you know, like, and there was like, I'm saying, like, competition. I was like, yeah, DJ Me,
won, bro. You won, and it was fairly won because, like I said, bro, you done so much in a little time.
Yes, you did.
You did it genuine, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You did it genuine. There was no fucking help. Like, you're a true definition of getting it out the mud. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry. We're gonna win it. We're gonna win it.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad y'all brought that up, the Miami Entertainment Awards. I had an episode kind of ranting on them because, you know, I've been doing, you know, everybody knows analytics. We podcasters, we look at our numbers and we just analyze everything, right? So for me on the show, I was like, how do they search these podcasts? Like how do they determine? You know what I'm saying? Cause it was some episodes.
First started it.
Cause I knew about y'all shows. I knew about who else was on that list?
DJ Meat.
I didn't know DJ. I knew DJ Me had a radio show, but I didn't know it was a podcast. Wasn't TP on there at that time or no? That was the following year. I mean the
No, that was not the year me and Matt were on there. I don't think he was on there.
Okay, yeah. So it was just a few podcasts that I'm like, no disrespect.
See, I voted for Matt. I tagged him in it.
But that's the thing. Like, how does that? How did it work? Like, the people had to submit like a podcast.
Yeah. So they put up a post and they said tag your favorite Miami podcast, something like. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt.
Yeah, like there was like first you had to submit, and whoever had the most submissions, then they would go by like how many were submitted, and then that's when they choose from. Then that's whoever had like the most, and that's when they would allow you to choose. I'm trying to find the post now.
And you see, I Matt shit is he, he has like see, I've done all kinds of things. Like I've shot an episode, Matt, 150 people live watching the show, and then I've done small studio, then I've done live, then I've done house. I did an episode in the middle of the Grove in the hood. Like I've done all kinds of different episodes, but Matt shit was like I'm not gonna cap. I even like when I first seen Matt's show, I did one of my intros in a S550. Shout out to DJ Hayes, owner Mixmasters. He let me use his car for the intro. He was there and all that, but I was like, yo, I want to do an episode in the car too. Like this shit is dope, bro. Like, and then my manager at that time, he was like, bro, they're gonna think you fighting. And I'm like, yeah, but he don't seem like a dude that's gonna get mad if I did that. Like, it'd just be like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I told him, I said, we DM'd each other before. He's like, nah, but then he's gonna think that you DM'd to take his shit. I'm like, and that's what I get. I shouldn't have listened to nobody. I should have always just do what I wanted to do, like I always do. But it was so dope when I seen that, bro. I'm like, bro, and Matt got that chill swag, so he's driving and the executive shit. I'm like, oh, this is a dope ass show, bro.
No, this is
bro. Like when I tell you, and then the thing is, but like you guys, like even to go back on that is like, even just the trials and that, like so much people that I was supposed to have on the show and just like bullshit that happens, like even being Litty. I mean, I'm pretty sure you deal with that too, DJ. Listen, man, I got lowballed, like just like I was like, man, people that I was hoping that was gonna come on, they, just probably just miscommunication, wrong timing, like. Man, like I could name drop a lot of people that. Oh,
so they pretty much like you reached out to them, but then when you won the award, they was like, "Oh shit, my bad, dog." Like type shit.
Yeah, bro. Like literally is like, or even like, especially after like the Zoe interview, and like Zoe was getting picked up like just last year. Last year when Willie had interviewed when he interviewed Zoe was like, yo, like they're gonna use some of your clips from Instagram. I mean from the interview that we did and post it on TMZ. And lo and behold, like literally I stayed up. It was like it came on like 4:00 and I was on TMZ. Like they was posting the clips on TMZ.
Major flag.
Yeah, no. Like
major flag.
But listen, my whole goal now is, especially with the culture Connoisseurs, bro, is literally like.
Don't make TMZ, bro. TMZ,
bro.
Nah. Was no jumper. You in TMZ.
For real,
nah,
no.
Man.
Hey.
Nah, man. Like, trust me. This Saturday, I'm ready.
Nah, for real, because when I see, like, platforms like No Jumper, for example, I'm like, it don't get respect to them, but this is like, we need that down here. Like you could tell No Jumper, they interview so many people, but you could tell it's still Cali based, you feel me? Like, we need that down here. And like, we all got goals. At the end of the day, especially for this media stuff. But for
I
me,
just don't see why we all can't do it. Why can't we all do it? You can add you to our circle. Like you have your. Or why can't everybody just in the media circle come together the same way No Jumper has their certain segments, certain things. You know, why can't we? Even Vlad now. Vlad doesn't even interview everybody no more. He has his people that are interviewing certain people. Why can't we do that?
And you know what's crazy? I think Matt, you told me this one after we did a podcast. How you asked me if I was gonna add a few people on my show, and lately I've been thinking about doing that too. Just because I'm tired. Like it's been 5-6 years DMing people and stuff, and you know I want to get to a point where I want to have 2 or 3 or 4 guests come, you know, be on the show, and just like, or have like special episodes, like invite y'all back on the show and just have like a round table, like, you know, like the end of the year type review or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's
we just did one of those. Go check it out.
For real?
We just did one.
Yeah. For real?
The wrap up.
How can y'all like the podcast? It's available everywhere.
It's on YouTube.
Nah, it's just on YouTube, but we working on it.
Okay, yeah, because I was
Apple Podcast.
Okay.
And everything.
Yeah,
disclaimer: it was nothing intelligent. We were drunk and we were just talking hella shit.
Nah, but I gotta check that out, man. I really gotta check that out. But yeah, I feel like you're right. Like we all could like just come together. Because with me, I like interviewing other media personalities only because I like to pick y'all brain, but also I'm like, I want to feel how y'all guests feel when y'all interviewing them, you know? So it's just like, we need more of this. You know, you look at, you know, media personalities up in New York and LA, like these other bigger cities, and they come together and stuff, and, you know, that's how it should be. You know, and then you never know. Like for example, I told someone that's trying to start his own podcast, I told him, like, listen, being a podcaster is like being in stocks and bonds. You wanna, especially if you do interviews. When you interview people, whether they from the low or the highs, tomorrow your podcast will blow up because one person could just get super famous one day because everybody gonna want to listen to all his old stuff. So it's like, you know, it goes back to like, you know, investing. You know, that's how that's how you break even. People don't know that. Like you.
But that's why I tell people consistency and product. And me and Matt talk about it. Like this new show we've been doing, I'm like, bro, like our currency is product. So we have to interview as much as we can because, like you said, A, somebody blows up and they're gonna want to go back and watch it. And also B, if we interview one semi-famous person and he has 50,000 people following him, 10,000 are only real. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The other 40,000 for if those 10,000, 5 of them, or maybe 5,000 are probably watching, and maybe 300 are gonna comment, and then it cuts down to maybe 100 reposting. So when we're interviewing local people have a stronger fan base. So if we're interviewing 50 local people in a month, you're gonna have that times 10 with their followers and fans reposting our shit. That's how it become. I'm giving y'all the like, like you said, once again, who is this Chico? How the fuck do I know him? Like, why do I see him everywhere? Honestly, how did that happen? Because I'm just flooding this shit.
And that's something. And that's something I'm trying to learn from y'all, because that's one thing. That's one thing because we all study each other. And for me, I told myself this year, not only I want to be in front of the camera, but I also want to, even if I'm doing audio like we're doing now, the way y'all market yourselves, the way y'all market y'all shows, it's like, I want to do that because it's true. Like, once you like, I seen your interview with Jim Jones. It was on the news feed, you know, when he did his interview with Billy Blue and Zoe Dollars, I seen it on the news feed. I'm like, shit, I'm trying to be like y'all boys.
Sure, and I say thank you to I'm a very thankful person. Even though I've put in so much work into this, I always show recognition to the people and to the situations that have put me, and even like Matt, going back with Matt today. Him connecting with people that I couldn't connect with, or just I've never thought to reach out with. Like, I always give everybody, and even like I say, you on your platform right now, like I've never been on an audio only platform. And this is dope for me because I do know that in audio platforms you can speak a little bit more. It's not like cameras where you got to cut it because of press and video and stuff like that. So it's dope. It's a dope experience, and I always thank people for it. And I kind of get nervous too when I'm getting interviewed because I feel like I'm forgetting people. So for the record, anybody that's listening to this and you know me and I didn't shout you out or I didn't bring your name up, I apologize. Because there's so many people I've worked with in the past 5.5 years that have been a major influence to my whole picture. Shout out to Robbie. Oh, shout out to Jay. Shout out to Jay, yeah, my brother. I mean, there's so many. Don't do that, man, because then we're gonna have a whole list of people.
All right, the last one we got Joker. That's the last one, Joker.
And literally anybody that has even just answered my DMs to the people that have put me in positions to be who I am, I just say thank you so much. Because honestly, like I can't do it. On my day job, I've been at the same job for 14 years. I'm a manager of a security company. I got 50 employees under me, 10,000 residents, 13 different communities. So I always tell my employees, I'm not shit without y'all. Like, y'all out there working. You're maintaining the contract so I can have a job. And I say that to the people that help me with everything I do. Like, without the help from people, and I want to do that for people as well. I want to do that for people because I'm thankful for it.
Man, and on that note, I got one more question for y'all. Where do y'all see yourselves with the podcast, with the show, in the next 5 to 10 years?
Man, I want to be on that to the point where the main goal is this is feeding my family and it's creating jobs where, like, you know, now I'm employing people and I'm able to create new jobs where someone can be an editor or someone could be a social media manager or assistant, and we're on a platform and we're like the top podcast on the platform and we're interviewing, you know, it opened doors for us and now we're walking into the White House, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I want to see, you know. I don't even want to work no more. The podcast is my full-time job.
That's the goal.
That's a fact. I wouldn't say 5 to 10 years though. I want to say in 3 to 5 years. I just want to be 10 years is way too far. I want to be on the beach in 10 years where there's no mosquitoes. But 3 to 5 years, I just want to be able, like Matt said, to live comfortable and have people that have the same mentality of podcast life and mentality to give them opportunities and for this to be a self-sustaining system where everybody has a job, everybody has a position, and we're all eating.
Yep. Yeah, that's the goal, man. And once again, I thank y'all for coming on the show. I know it's late, but I had to get y'all on the show.
One more question for you. Wait. Don't cut. Before you go, I got a podcast question.
Okay.
2 people. One dead, one alive. Who will your 2 people be that you want to interview? Like your dream interview. One dead, one alive.
Damn. And you got me there because I had a feeling.
No, I got a question. I got a question for you too. Afterwards.
Okay. All right.
Me and Matt get to give you a question before we close. Go.
All right. One alive. Damn, that's a lot of them. Truthfully, one man in life right now. What I want to do, I want to interview Warren Buffett because I've been dipping and dabbling in stocks for a minute, but one thing people don't understand what he says is that invest in things that you like and that you love. Don't invest in stuff because it's a trend. So when he said that, I'm like, damn, like what all we have? We be on Apples, we be on Androids. Let's say with the different cameras, we have Sonys, we have Canons and stuff like that. We be on the Rodecaster mics and all that. So if they got a stock or whatnot, if they, publicly, you can invest in them. Just invest in that company because you using them, and two, you kind of getting not kind of, but you are getting your money back because you investing in the company that you use. So that'd be one person alive and one dead. Kobe Bryant. God bless the Black Mamba. Like Kobe, like people gotta realize Kobe was like our Jordan. For us, like for all of us, like the millennials, like that was like late 80 babies, early 90 babies that we seen Jordan, but we was babies. Or like when he was in the Wizards, we was like in middle school, high school. So none of us we ain't really get to see Jordan, even like 80s Jordan when he was like a baby, but he was still doing his thing. Kobe, we seen it all. We seen, like, for example, Tom Brady retired today. Like, you got athletes like that just, he did everything. He literally had 3 or 4 different eras. You had the Afro Kobe, the young Kobe, the Kobe with Shaq. You had the Kobe with, when he was going through his prime. You had the Kobe that went through the Olympics. He helped the Olympic team. You had the Kobe with the two-peat with Paul Gasol and them boys. And then you had the Kobe that we never wanted to see. He got hurt. But that last game he did, it was 61 points or 63 points, some crazy shit like that. It was just amazing. But I'll say Kobe Bryant, and just him, he's very articulate, like he's very creative, he's business minded, like he just it's certain people you just want to soak up game from, But I say alive, Warren Buffett, and dead Kobe Bryant. Yep. What about you? I want to ask you that.
Me?
Yes, you. Litty Willie.
Alive. Musically, I would say Jay-Z.
Okay.
Just because Jay-Z is an awesome businessman.
Mm-hmm.
And dead, Matt's already gonna know. Best rapper, dead or alive.
Tupac.
You're crazy. Big Pun.
Big Pun.
Is the best rapper, dead or alive. Yeah. I argue with this with everybody. I take it to the grave, not because I'm Puerto Rican, not because I'm from Boston, but just because he was just an impeccable rapper.
Mm-hmm. Nah, Big Pun was different. Big Pun, and I say this to people all the time because growing up, people think from down, like we from the South. They're like, oh, you don't listen to New York rap? I said, yes, I do. Like when I first got introduced to hip hop, it was Nas, it was Jay-Z, it was little LL Cool J, it was Biggie, of course, then of course Tupac's, the Bone Thugs, everybody else, outside the South, and because I had an older brother. Well, I have an older brother that was born in the 70s, so he's seen all that, the Wu-Tangs and all that. So,
he's seen hip hop grow. He's seen hip hop, period.
Yeah, so it's like Big Pun. Like when I first heard him, like for real, I was probably like, I heard him, of course, when I was young, but when I got the middle school, high school, really middle school, when I started to hear him, I'm like, damn, bro, if Big Pun was alive. Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because this will be another episode if I just start saying things about Pun. So Jay, not Jay, my bad, Matt. I see Jay talking shit about Pun right now. That's why I said Jay. Matt, what was your question? What was your question too?
Me and Gary brought up Jay. We had this ongoing debate about these two people. Who do you think is more influential? Michael Jackson or Bob Marley.
Oh,
I already know who you're gonna say, because I feel like I know you Bahamians.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I don't know which way you're gonna go with it, but
influential. We said it. Influential meaning
influential
all around the whole board.
Okay, so I'm gonna break it down because y'all. That's a good ass question. Y'all. I gotta be on y'all shows,
Watch the
bro.
episode that we told you about, because we said ass off, screaming and debating drunk about this on this.
Oh my god. I'm gonna break it down. Let me break it down. Michael Jackson, that's just someone who, we all knew. I mean, of course, we all knew Bob Marley. Now, come on, but Michael Jackson was like. I was just talking to my wife about this the other day. Was it Off the Wall? I think Off the Wall was like 79 or something like that. Because I started going back, when you were not hip hop, but when you're a music historian, you just go back. The Off the Wall alone, if you listen to hip hop throughout the years, like being a hip hop head, being an R&B head, majority of the songs that came from that one album. It's like you hear all the samples all the time. You get what I'm saying? And you think of Michael Jackson, you think of Chris Brown, you think of who else?
And this is not to take nothing from any of these artists.
Just
put that on the record.
You think about Beyonce, Chris Brown. You think about even R. Kelly in a way because of the R&B. Because Michael Jackson was originally R&B, but he just popped. He was. You couldn't really. He was like a creative player. Like he was different. You get what I'm saying? Like he was just different. Now Bob Marley. I'm glad you brought that up because being, from the Bahamas, I'm not from the Bahamas, but my family from the Bahamas. I was born here. My great grandparents, they was from the Bahamas. Bob Marley, when it comes to Caribbean music, when it comes to all of that, reggaeton, dance hall, even this whole era that you listen to, like the whole what they call it, like the Afro beats. When you think about that, you think about Bob Marley. I remember I took a class at Broward College. It was my freshman year. It was like a music. I forgot type of class. It wasn't music theory, but it was music history.
Music appreciation.
It was music history. It was like an elective I took. So we went from like the medieval days, like the 1300s and all that shit, and then we went to like modern day. And people don't realize, but if it wasn't for reggae, it wouldn't be no hip hop. So for me, in my opinion, it's hard to say because I love Michael Jackson, but Bob Marley, if you just look overall, and then of course I got to be biased because I have an island in me, as we all do. We all from the West Indies, all our ancestors from the West Indies. Bob Marley is probably like the most underrated GOAT of all GOATs. Like just the respect that he had and still have. You think that, of course you think both of them is alive. You think Michael Jackson's alive. You think Bob Marley's alive, but it's like Bob Marley alone, his family alone, you think he's still alive somewhere, like Tupac, like he's in Cuba somewhere, chilling or some shit. But for me, I have to say Bob Marley, just off of like impact, just off of you just listen to the Afro beats, like it's just I'm gonna say Bob Marley, but it's close because Michael Jackson at one point. His whole like y'all listen to her, right?
Yeah.
When I think
that girl,
her to me, she got a good SZA. They all got a good mixture of Michael Jackson and Prince. You could tell they was raised around their
But I
music.
feel like her is more Prince.
Yeah.
Because Prince played a lot of instruments, and her played a lot of instruments too.
Mm-hmm.
So I say like her is kind of like Prince. It's only just about
It's such a great discussion. It's not a debate because I think these are one of those kind of like questions where there's no wrong answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think that at all because Bob Marley has influenced so much. It's just, in my opinion, like I was telling them, like Michael Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
I think is just more. Bob Marley's more that hits your soul.
Yeah.
Like, that's a connection of the soul. Like
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but just Michael Jackson is. I think Michael Jackson's getting played in Mars. Like he's pop, he's rap,
Mm-hmm.
he's dance. Bob Marley was soul. Like that just it hits you so deep that you felt it. And it was Bob Marley's music was energy.
Yes.
It was beyond like just music. And when I say versatile and like who's more influential, I always say Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson is. It's like a Yankee hat. I think I said that. I was too drunk to remember. But anywhere you go, any country you go to, you're going to see a Yankee hat. Am I right or wrong? You go to the middle of Bolivia.
Yeah. I don't like the Yankees, but yeah. Go Marlins, even though we suck, but.
But no, but I'm saying, am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Any country you go to,
you're right.
you see a Yankee hat.
It's like, it's both. It's like, because I'm glad you brought in sports. It's like, think about the Yankees, you think about the Cowboys, you think about the Lakers, the Dodgers, like the Giants, the Dolphins. Even no, for real, the Dolphins, like for real, because people don't realize the Dolphins is like. I went to Cali one time. It's a whole bunch of Dolphin fans out there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm thinking like it's gonna be Raiders fans.
Dolphin history made that when they made that
the 70
streak where they won
the 72
70 whatever
yeah.
Dolphins. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm in Miami, that's all I hear.
But truth be told, a lot of the old timers down here, they was Cowboys fans at one point. Because you gotta think about it, and it made sense to me. I'm like, damn, what other teams was down here? Because the Cowboys was established since like the 50s, and it
wasn't nowhere around.
No, the Dolphins wasn't around yet. The Falcons, the Houston Oilers, like it wasn't no really other teams from the South, but Dallas and the Chiefs was in the Texas too, but then they moved and stuff, whatever. But you talk about like a historical team that everybody knew, the Cowboys. But yeah, like I just think like you can't really argue both though, like. Like for example,
good discussion.
Yeah, like I've dated like every island girl I dated, like that was from the Bahamas, Jamaica, Haiti. They would say Bob Marley. I heard him 95% of the time in my household. But if you bring up Michael Jackson, everywhere it's like, even they from the Caribbean, like yeah, I heard him too. It's I don't know. That's a great debate though. You know what? No, like we gotta have a round table. Like
it's a lot, bro. We can go on and on, bro.
This is why we the culture.
Who's better? Who's better? Like who do you have better? Big Pun. Do you think Big Pun is like right after, Biggie and Tupac?
No, do you think like, hey, word it right. Hey, hold on.
I think so.
Do you think that Big Pun should be in the Tupac Biggie conversation? Because all you hear always is Tupac Biggie, but you never hear Pun. And Pun was literally, because everybody wants to say, oh, well, Pun didn't have that many albums, blah blah blah. He only had one. Biggie was the same thing.
Yeah, Biggie was the same thing.
Biggie and Pun's run were the same thing.
Yeah,
Pac had mad albums, but when you wanted to put, okay, so let's put it down to this: Biggie or Pun. I pick Biggie over Pac over any day, all day. I'm a Biggie fan, but Pun to me is better than Biggie.
I think with Pun, to me, it's like the Nas, because I could ask y'all this about Nas and Jay-Z, because for me, I love Jay-Z. That's he's the GOAT.
Yeah, Matt, we have him going to another show right now.
But because y'all, because people got to listen. They a lot of people don't know nothing about my side, because I don't but it's like the Nas and Jay-Z like debate, Jay-Z's the GOAT. Jay-Z, got albums for days. But Nas is coming.
Answer for that one.
Nas is coming. Nas' last few albums, to me, I always felt like Nas was the most lyrical out of the both. But
yeah, no, he is, and Hit Boy is making it. But the thing is, I think somebody was saying this. Like I was just talking to somebody, and they was like, "Who do you think has the better verse on Brooklyn Finest? Do you think Biggie has the better verse, or do you have Jay-Z has the better verse?" And a lot of people gonna say Jay-Z. The way to break it down, Biggie says the rhymes better. Jay-Z rhymes better. That's my political answer. So when they say Nas and Jay-Z,
mm-hmm.
Nas is the better rapper. Jay-Z is the better artist.
I agree with that. Yes.
My opinion. Please, nobody kill me for this.
No, I like. We all had this barber shop talk, and me and my homeboys, we be in the we just right now, we was talking about. I don't know if y'all seen it, but they saying that A Pimp a Butterfly is the top rated album of all time. But I said,
was that Pitchfork?
Huh? I think so. But I said that Forest Hill Goddamn Drive to me should be the most top rated album, because what J. Cole did in 2014 at that time with
you have that Jay on here. Jay, my boy Jay, he got him wet in his pants right now, probably, bro. He's a big J. Cole fan, bro.
He's like, this nigga's talking bars right now, bro.
No, for real, cause
I told you.
Nah, for real, cause don't get me wrong now, Kendrick. Let's talk about this era real quick, cause this is more of our era. So Kendrick, to me, I'm gonna say he's the all around better artist than Cole. But J. Cole's is different. I don't know, because he's from North Carolina. He close to home. He's from the South. It's just, but then also too, he do also got
you got
that.
To put the four.
Yeah,
the four of them is Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, and Big Sean.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I got Wale over Big Sean though.
Damn, you know
Wale's
what?
Before them, but Wale's before them.
You know what too though?
No, but wasn't Wale on the same double? Was he on Double XL with them or no? No.
Let me see.
That I don't know. I don't know. That you have to Google. I know for a fact, well, not for a fact, but in my knowledge, Wale was popping before them.
Yeah, because Wale mistapes.
Right.
Wale missed.
So, okay, out of those four, then who do you have? I think Big Sean is so slept.
Ranked, if I had to rank them.
Yeah.
J. Cole first, number one. Kendrick 2. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I was never a Drake fan. I always been a Drake fan, but I just felt like at one point he was overhyped. But I'm not gonna lie. He's like, got Jay-Z is like, he was Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne is like Kobe. He think about it. They both Carters and stuff, and at one point, Lil Wayne was trying to be like Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
And Drake to me is
the best artist.
Yeah, he's like LeBron. Like, he's going to be in the conversation only because of his impact. Because I ain't gonna lie, Drake impact is ridiculous. Like, Drake is number 3, but Big Sean, he's my favorite artist. If I'm being unbiased,
I think that he slept on.
Yes, he is
slept on. Super hard, bro.
Let me ask y'all this question real quick, because y'all, real quick, we're going to get off soon with this question, because I like to ask everyone that's in the music industry, do y'all feel like streaming helped or hurt, like, music in general? Like, do you feel like it helped or hurt, like, I guess, like, we all come from an era where, we knew about CDs, we knew about, open up the package, like Get Rich or Die Trying. You had the poster, the Eminem show. You go Ludacris, Word of Mouth. Like we knew about them albums, and they had posters, they had the credits and stuff. But in streaming, it's like, back in the days we didn't have enough money to even get like the deluxe edition, and it's easier for us to stream. But it's like it's like it's kind of like the podcast game. It's like it's so crowded. So I like to ask people, like, do you think the streaming era hurt or help music as a whole? Whoever want to go first.
I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword, only because like what you said. But then to add on top of that, just imagine like you have a song on there, and the album comes out, you didn't get a sample cleared, so now you gotta ask for all those people to bring their CDs back to get the money back because one of the songs the sample not cleared. When now with streaming, all you gotta do is just block that song until you get the sample cleared. Like for a while, like I was listening to Benny the Butcher and his song with Ross. They had a sample problem with one of the songs, and instead of taking down the whole album, all they did was just change out the song and just play a different beat in it at the end. So, but then it's kind of messed up for like we rate people based off of their streams. Like you have like people like Pusha T, when he dropped Daytona, he had like 95,000. Even though because he was beefing with Drake around that time, he had 95,000 copies. I think 2/3 of that was actual physical copies that people went to go get it, as opposed to like someone like Ice Spice, when you hear like, oh, she did 15,000 copies streaming, and people are like, oh, that's good. And to me, when you hear you do 15,000 in 1 week, it's like, dang, bro, like that's Joe Budden numbers.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be doing more than that.
Yeah, 15 to 20,000
mood music numbers.
Yeah, like, but 15, 2,000 in that era when it's hard copies, that's not that bad. Like, streaming, that suck. Like, 15 to 20,000 streams, like, that's not.
That sucks. That's bad.
Especially if you got over, quote unquote, over 1 million followers and stuff like that, that don't add up. You know what I'm saying? So.
Definitely don't add up.
And what about you, lady? How you feel about the?
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I think that I think it sucks, but it does also show. I mean, just like anything else, there's good and bad parts with that. But I think that it helps the indie artists. Because streaming now, you can go and put up on a platform, boom, get up there, and it helps the indie artists to get heard. It helps the indie artists to get seen. But with that, with digital numbers, comes scamming, comes inflation, comes all those other things. So then it becomes a controlled system because it's a computer versus sales that, you know what I'm saying? Just like votes right now, the conspiracy theory behind voting, like, it's electronic. So it could be tampered with. It could be fluffed. It can be this, that, and the other. So I don't know how to lead. I don't have a solid answer for you. I can tell you that for an indie artist, it's amazing. That helps as an indie artist. But as a whole answer, I think it just has pros and cons like anything else.
Man, let me tell y'all something. Whenever y'all ready, I want to come on y'all show. Cause I don't really get interviews. No, for real, I don't really get interviews like that. I probably had once I started my podcast, I probably had maybe one interview, like for me. But I feel like our interview like this it's a round table. Like we need to do this in the future. Like just do like a collaboration or something.
Matt with it too, man. We just gotta get you in the studio, sit you down, get that studio time, and definitely, bro, it'd be an honor to have you on and just have us talk in general about this. Even if 4 people watch this shit on YouTube, we're not that type of numbers, bro.
Yeah, no, I feel like
that's another conversation, man. Like, people stop buying views, y'all boys.
Yeah, be organic.
Numbers don't lie.
It don't.
Numbers don't lie.
Like I was saying,
sometimes you post a thing 1 hour ago and it got 53K.
Yeah,
you are not like that.
One thing I learned about podcasting, analytics is real. Like when I was consistent, because I was telling people, be consistent. If you drop every week, or if you drop every day, or twice a week, as long as you being consistent, you gonna see the numbers. Because I've seen it. We all seen it. I've seen it for myself. I'm speaking like for myself. Like it was a time where I literally had. To me, it was amazing. It was like I had 1,000. I think the most I ever outperformed was like 1,000 listeners a week. I'm like, God damn! But it was because I was consistent. You know, so it could happen, but you know, people want to cheat the game, man. It's crazy out here. It's crazy out here, man. So y'all got any shout outs before we close out the podcast?
Don't do that.
Yeah. Shout out to Robbie. Shout out, you know, Culture Connoisseurs. Shout out to Litty Show. Shout out to Come Miami. Yeah, man. Shout out Willie Kids. Shout out Willie's wife.
He put in so much pressure, bro. He put in so much pressure.
Nah, so you don't forget, bro. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Man, shout out to you first for getting us on your platform, bro, and having us on here, bro. Firstly, like, shout out to you, and just, you know what, I'm going to make this shit simple. Shout out God that made this everything go into place for all of us, bro. Amen to God.
That's our number one fan, and on that note, we out. This has been your boy DJ Anonymous with another episode of Sports Biz Music with my boy Litty and my boy Matt, and we out. Peace.
Yeah.